I turned this boring ceiling into a mural, and here's how. This project took me 3 days, but I squeezed it into just 3 minutes for you. So what had happened was I was hired to paint a school's emblem onto the ceiling, and I said yes before considering how difficult that might be. But isn't that so typical, just saying yes and figuring it out later? Anyways, my dad and I arrived on Friday and got to work trying to find out where the center of the mural would be. We had to line it up between this pipe and the wall, and then make sure it was also even on the other side. Shout out to art school for teaching me how to whittle. Because if I haven't already mentioned, the emblem that I'm painting is a literal perfect circle, so we had to measure many times to find center. Honestly, this took us like an hour, and then once we finally found center, my dad committed and put a nail through, and then we were going to use a string to draw the actual circle onto the ceiling. Then people from the school came by and debated whether or not they wanted it to be that big and also in that spot, but then after talking it through, they said to keep going, and I was like, thank God, because this night has just begun and I have so much to do. So right here, you can see the relief on my face and my dad giving me a little fist bump because they said, yep, go ahead, get started. And I had to do so much work to start on this projection. Because I have to replicate a specific design, I have to use a projector to get it onto the ceiling, so my dad built me this custom stand so that I could put my projector perpendicular. But there was only so much distance between the ceiling and the floor, and my projector didn't have a wide enough lens or whatever. We had to do it in so many parts, and it took so long, and we had to piece it together, and the only thing that kept me together was my dad. I said a lot of bad words and almost was convinced I just couldn't do it. Day 2, I got there around 9 a.m. and didn't film as much of the process as I wanted because I was stressed about not finishing on time. My friend and fellow mural artist Alex helped me all day, and my parents also came to help out and bring me some lunch. Every color needed 2 to 3 coats, so that took a lot of time, but I pushed myself to get all these colors onto the ceiling before leaving at the end of Saturday. You can see it's still patchy, but I left on a good note and felt like I could complete everything in about 8 hours on Sunday. And then I went home to lay down and put some icy hot on my shoulders and back. Here we are on day 3. Honestly, I was a little nauseous from having my head up at that angle, and there's my dad, Alex, and Lori who helped me paint on Sunday, which was so helpful because I had to start about 2 hours later than I wanted, so I was so stressed about finishing on time. Then it came to a point where it was just me painting in the line work because that's what I'm really good at, so I'm the one who can do that. And then I just locked in by listening to a podcast and some Megan Thee Stallion. She's really the only one who pulls me through hard times. Finished around 7:30 on Sunday, and then I laid down to appreciate my work, and I thought I was done, but I found a spot that I missed, so I went back and fixed 2 colors. And I will say that this project made me appreciate Michelangelo and the fact that he painted a ceiling, and I also found a poem he wrote about the time he was painting and how much he really hated it, and he told his friend, he's like, I'm not a painter. And I totally felt that. So this is me on Monday. I went back after work again, and now I'm varnishing the mural. And let me tell you, my shoulders and neck were dead. I put so much Tiger Balm on all day, but having to put my arms back up was serious torture. So after 20 plus hours of work, this is the finished mural. I'm so happy with how it looks, especially the eagle's face and these tiny little letters. Anyways, I think it's really awesome that this school invests in improving the look of its campus.